Is TaxDome the right technology for larger firms that are looking to streamline and automate their business? This is a question we get all the time, so I wanted to do this video to address that question and talk about what it is about TaxDome that is going to make your life so much easier if you do have a larger firm, and then how you can also set your firm up for success, your employees, your team up for success when utilizing this new technology for your firm. So hi, my name is Katie, and I am one half of Cabot in Maine. I am a certified TaxDome consultant, and we help our clients to implement TaxDome and to be successful when you are implementing it, whether you are a solopreneur, whether you have a large firm, whatever the case may be, whether you're tax, bookkeeping, any other profession, we help you implement TaxDome to be successful. So we know a thing or two about TaxDome. We also, my business partner Ashley and I, came from the corporate world where we started as accountants, and ultimately I moved into a project management role where I was really supporting our accounting and operations department to implement large technologies. So I know a thing or two about being successful when it comes to technology and how you can really utilize it to help out your large team or small team and be successful with it. So I wanted to share this video to help you understand how it can really transform your business, why we recommend it, and again, how you can be successful. So one of the main reasons that we love TaxDome for larger firms, aside from it being a generally great technology that does a lot, and it does do a lot, we really love how much it can help you standardize and document your processes across the board. So when you have a large team, a large firm, it can be really difficult to ensure that your team is taking all the same actions across all of your clients or across the work. So standardizing it and documenting that process so you have that consistency is really important, because obviously it's going to help you reduce errors, it's going to help you save time, it's going to help your team know exactly what they're doing. So it really creates a lot of benefits to your team, your firm, when you can standardize that across the board and then document it so that your team all knows exactly what they're doing. As well as when you have new people come onto your team, it's already standardized, it's already documented. They just have to understand and get into the process, but it's already out there for them to see. So we love this tool because it really helps you do both the standardization as well as documenting that for your team. The second piece, which is maybe the most obvious, is just the ability to automate your processes and save time. So, when you have a lot of clients or you have a large team, saving time, being efficient, those are things that are really important. And then with today's technology, it's just really important to be able to utilize that so you can give your clients the best experience possible. So TaxDome also allows for a ton of automation, way more than we've seen in a lot of other technologies, and it's easy to use, and that's one of the things that we love about it. You can use it, your team can use it, and you can keep creating more iterations of better automations for your team as you get used to the technology as well. So we love it for that ability as well. And that way too, your team can really utilize their time, their talents in ways that aren't necessarily sending out emails all the time or things like that. So you can really utilize your team the best way possible. We also love that it does help reduce human error. So the more streamlined and automated your process is, you're really going to be able to reduce some of that human error that occurs when you forget to send things out, or it's missing this piece of information, or whatever the case may be. You're able to reduce that human error. It's not perfect. There's still humans that are interacting with the system. You're still doing things. Your team is still engaged. The technology is not perfect, right? That's not possible. Nothing is perfect. So there is still going to be a margin of error, but you're reducing a huge portion of it because you're taking out and automating so many of those elements that you can really help to reduce those types of errors. And it's going to help you improve your process. When you're going through, you're documenting it, you're streamlining it, you're automating it, it's also going to force you to really come up with what are those best practices, how do you want this to work for your business, and really help you to improve that process across the board so you do have a streamlined process. And it's not just a one and done. You do that in the beginning, and then you continue to improve it over time. You figure out what works, what doesn't. This tool is going to help you improve your process so that it is just very streamlined, automated as much as possible, and just easy for your team to use too. And then we also love it because you have the ability to involve your team in the technology. You can give them all their own individual access and you can customize that. It allows them to really kind of get into the system and use it for different things, and it's all in one place. There's so many different things that you're putting all into this technology that can help you as a larger firm to reduce your costs. Obviously, you're not having as many technologies, but also just involves your team, allowing them to do different things within the system or not, depending on the access as well. So there's so much more that we love about it for larger firms, but those are a couple of the things that we think are the most useful for you as you are trying to deliver a great product to your clients. So the second piece of this is that not only do you need to have great functioning technology, but you also want your team to be successful when you're implementing any new technology. So in my own experience, I can tell you that there's a few things that are going to help your team to be the most successful when you are involving them in this new technology. I will tell you right away, you're going to have some pushback. You're going to have some team members who are probably questionable. They may not want to use it. They're going to see a lot of flaws and a lot of faults because that's what they want to see, right? They're used to things being a certain way. People struggle with change. It's very common. And so you might receive a little bit of pushback or a little bit of hesitation when it comes to really implementing this new technology. So I'm going to share with you just a couple of my own tips from my own experience, both in the corporate world, working with lots of teams, as well as in our business, just as we've helped people to really help involve their teams and get them on board with using this. The number one thing you can do right away is get them involved. They want to feel like they are part of the decision-making process. They want to feel like their input matters. They want to feel like this process is going to work for them. So as much as you can get them involved in all of those things and help them realize the benefit very quickly, and then get them involved in figuring out how this is going to work. What is that process going to look like? What's that workflow going to look like? Let them help design it so that it works for them and they feel like they're contributing. It also is going to help them to adopt better because they're getting involved early on. So get them involved in that process, make them feel part of it, make them feel part of the decision, and that's going to help them be more successful as they go to implement it. The second piece is setting expectations. I already said this, but I'm going to say it again. This technology is not perfect, and literally there is not anything out there that is perfect, right? So just know that that's not possible. Know that for you as a firm owner, know that for your team, and make sure that they know it too. There are going to be learning curves. There are going to be errors. There are going to be technology issues. Make sure you're setting that expectations that yes, you want this to be smooth. Yes, you want it to work, but it's not going to be perfect right away, and that is okay. You have to expect it. You have to give yourself a little bit of grace, your team a little bit of grace, and knowing that this is going to be as smooth as possible. You're going to get them all ready as possible, but it is not going to be perfect. There are going to be hiccups. There are going to be bumps. There's going to be learning curve issues, all of those things. Make sure your team knows that that is reasonable, that is normal when you are implementing a new technology, and that you're going to do everything you can to make sure that you are on top of it and ahead of it when it comes to those issues, and that you know what you're going to do when an issue pops up, because it will. It's just a reality, again, of any new technology. The third way that you can really help your team be as successful as possible when implementing this new technology is training and documentation. So you do not want to implement a new technology and just say, great, go for it. You're on your own, kid. You want to give them as much training and as much documentation as you possibly can. So for us, we do have an entire training course where we do offer that support. We offer those videos, we offer those templates, all the things that teams need to be able to get up to speed and understand how to use the system and all of that. You want to make sure that you're giving your team the support that they need, because if you're just throwing them in there, they're going to struggle, especially when you have a larger team. So getting them that training that they need, giving them those tools, making sure they have the time, as much time as possible to get up to speed and feel ready to go, it's going to help them be more successful. Again, it's not going to be perfect because they're going to get in there. Things might be a little different or not exactly what they expected. That's okay, but you want to give them as much of that training and as much of that documentation, operating procedures, things like that, that they can possibly have to be as successful as possible. So again, we absolutely love this technology. It's not perfect, but it has so many great benefits for large firms, medium firms, small firms, solopreneurs, whatever it is. There's so many benefits across the board to utilizing this workflow tool, automating your process, saving time, streamlining, documenting, all the things. But it won't work unless you are giving your team those tools to be as successful as possible. So we would invite you to let us know if you have any questions post them below. If you would like to find out more about how you can work with us to help us build this out for you, or even to help your team get up to speed, you can visit cabotandmain.com, and I'll link it below. And again, please let us know if there's any questions or we can help you in any way. Have a good one.